Picture this, you finally start taking money seriously. You are not trying to get rich overnight. You are not gambling, you are just trying to avoid messing this up. So you do what everyone tells you is responsible. You move your money into something safe. Maybe it is a long-term government bond fund. Maybe it is a fixed income mutual fund. Maybe it is a capital preservation option inside your retirement account. You feel good about it, calm even, because this is not crypto, this is not stocks, this is grown-up money, and then years go by. Your balance barely moves, prices keep rising, your paycheck does not stretch as far. And somehow, despite doing everything right, you feel poorer. And the worst part is this, you cannot even tell how you are losing. If that feeling sounds familiar, that is not an accident. I spend way too much time thinking about risk, safety, and how people accidentally destroy their own money. And if you are someone who is trying to be responsible, trying to protect your savings and trying to avoid obvious mistakes, but still feels like your money is going backwards, hit the subscribe button. And give this video a thumbs up if this helps you, because today we are talking about the safest investment people love and why in real life it can be riskier than crypto. And I do not mean emotionally riskier, I mean financially riskier. Here is the belief most people have, and if I put my money in bonds or fixed income, I might not get rich, but at least I will not lose money. That belief feels logical, it feels mature, it feels boring in a good way. And that is exactly why it is dangerous. Risk is not just volatility. Risk is the loss of purchasing power. Risk is opportunity cost. Risk is time working against you. Risk is inflation quietly eroding your money while you are not paying attention. Crypto feels risky because it moves. Bonds feel safe because they do not. But stability is not the same thing as safety. But bonds are safer because they are backed by the government. That is usually the next line. And look, I get why that sounds comforting. Governments do not disappear overnight. They can tax, they can print money, they can technically always pay you back. But here is what most people do not realize. Getting paid back does not mean getting paid back in real terms. If I lend you $1,000 today and you give me back $1,000 10 years later, I did not get my money back. I got robbed politely. This is the difference between credit risk and real risk. Credit risk means the borrower might not pay you back. Bonds have low credit risk. Real risk is different. Real risk is inflation. Real risk is interest rate changes. Real risk is time. Real risk is opportunity cost. And those destroy wealth far more quietly than defaults ever will. Governments do not need to default to hurt bond investors. They just need inflation to run higher than expected. And historically, yeah, that happens a lot. Let us describe what this looks like in the real world. From the late 1960s through the early 1980s, bond investors got crushed. Inflation averaged over 7% for more than a decade. Bond yields lagged behind. Real returns were deeply negative, and these were not reckless speculators. These were responsible savers, pension funds, retirees. They did not panic. They did not sell. They just quietly lost purchasing power year after year. That is the danger. Not drama, not headlines, slow erosion. And here is why this keeps happening. Human psychology. People optimize for short-term comfort, not long-term outcomes. They want emotional calm, they want fewer scary headlines, they want something that feels responsible. Bonds feel safe because they do not challenge you, they do not test your patience, they do not question your decisions, they do not punch you in the face with volatility. They just slowly limit your future options. And your brain says, at least I'm not stressed. Stress does not matter if you cannot afford your life later. Now this part is important. Bonds are not evil. They are not useless. They are not scams. They are tools. And tools only make sense in the right context. Bonds make sense when you need money in the short term. They make sense when you're already wealthy and preserving capital. They make sense when you are matching specific future expenses. They make sense when you're reducing volatility after growth. They do not make sense as a default safe option for someone with decades ahead of them. If you have 20 to 40 years to invest, a growing income, and no meaningful assets yet. Using bonds too early is like wearing a helmet while sitting still and refusing to move. Safe? Maybe. Effective? Not at all. Now let us address the comparison everyone argues about. Crypto versus bonds. Crypto risk is visible. It is emotional. It is immediate. Bond risk is slow. It is hidden. It is structural. Crypto can destroy you quickly if you are reckless. Bonds can lock you into mediocrity if you are complacent. One feels dangerous, the other is dangerous quietly, and this leads to the most dangerous word in investing, safe. Because once you label something safe, you stop questioning it, you stop monitoring it, you stop comparing it, you stop asking, safe for what? Safe from volatility, safe from regret, safe from inflation, safe from missing out. Those are very different questions. So what does real safety actually look like? Real safety comes from diversification. It comes from long-time horizons. It comes from owning productive assets. It comes from letting compounding work. In practice, that usually means this: equities as the foundation, bonds as a stabilizer, not the centerpiece, cash for short-term needs, risk adjusted by time, not fear. Volatility is the price you pay for growth. Inflation is the price you pay for pretending volatility does not exist. You do not avoid risk. You choose which one you pay. So let us make this actionable. If you are watching this and thinking, okay, what do I actually change? Here is a simple checklist. First, stop calling bonds safe. Call them what they are: low volatility, inflation-sensitive instruments. That alone will change how you use them. Second, match assets to time. Money needed in 1 to 3 years should be cash-like. 5 to 10 years should be balanced. 20 years or more should be growth-focused. If your time horizon is long, stagnation is your enemy, not volatility. Third, recheck your defaults. Employer plans love defaulting people into bond-heavy portfolios early. Defaults are designed for compliance, not optimization. Check them. Fourth, learn to sit with volatility. Volatility is not the problem. Selling at the wrong time is. Train for discomfort. That is where returns come from. Final thought, and this is not about crypto versus bonds. It is about understanding what risk actually is, because the most dangerous losses are not dramatic. They are quiet, they are slow, they are invisible until it is too late. And if you walk away from this video understanding one thing, let it be this: feeling safe is not the same as being safe. If this helped you rethink how you invest, hit the like button. It genuinely helps this reach people who need to hear it.